Hello. Well, this channel, believe it or not, has been accused from time to time of scaremongering, but as our subscribers know, that's the last thing we try to do. Our sources are mainly from accredited websites or government websites. However, there are plenty of channels out there who seem to go out of their way to spread alarm. Now then, some of you have sent me a video that came out a few days ago claiming that thousands of pensioners across the UK are receiving letters from the DWP, Department of Work and Pensions, cutting their pension entitlements by nearly £3,000 a year. And that there are new 2026 rules that are pushing people out of pension credit and stripping away free TV licenses and other support. Now, is this true, or is it classic engagement farming? We'd use a scary number, attach it to, say, a government body and imply a scandal. So let's check this out together and see what's happening, because if they are frightening claims and if they're false, then you need to know, and you need to let everyone else know. Welcome to Grey Matters. Hello there, and welcome to Grey Matters, the channel that promotes the fact that the older generation still matters and has relevance, and which looks at issues that matter to the older generation. So what's this all about? Well, this video says that pensioners in England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland are being told that their payments are being cut, not by pennies, but by nearly £3,000 a year. Take a look.
And for pensioners, especially those over 75, who are largely on fixed incomes, every single pound matters. Every penny of their pension income is budgeted, planned, and relied upon. So imagine the shock, imagine the genuine, heartbreaking shock when thousands of pensioners across England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland began receiving letters from the Department for Work and Pensions telling them that their pension-related entitlements were being reduced, not slightly adjusted, not rounded down by a few pence, but reduced by amounts that, when you add them up over a full year, come to as much as $2,932. That is nearly $3,000 a year. That is nearly $245 every single month gone from a pensioner's income. That is the difference between heating your home.
Yeah, that's enough of that. The figure quoted was £2,932. You might have missed it because the sound dropped out at that point, but it's there in the transcript if you want to check it. Now, if that were true, it would be a national scandal. So here are the facts. There's no evidence whatsoever that the Department of Work and Pensions is cutting pensions by £2,932. A surge of DWP bulletins, gov.uk announcements, parliamentary statements, major UK news outlets and pension advisory bodies shows zero evidence of any mass reduction of pension entitlement. There has been no government announcement, no policy change, no mass mailing and no reduction to the state pension. Now that £2,932 figure is real enough, but it's been completely misused. It's simply the difference between the old state pension and the new state pension after the recent uprating. The old state pension was £614.80 a year, and the new state pension is £12,547.60 a year. The difference? £2,932.80. It's not a cut, it's not a reduction, it's not caused by these letters, it's just the structural difference between the two systems. The only large-scale DWP letter campaign recently was the Home Responsibilities Protection Programme, where the government is contacting people who may have been underpaid in the past in order to fix it. Now that's about increasing pensions, not reducing them. This video is mixing two unrelated things, and it would appear that the creator has taken a real number, the gap between the old and new pensions, a false narrative, that the DWP is cutting pensions and then stitch them together to create a misleading and alarming story. So if you receive a letter from the DWP, it won't be to say that your state pension has been cut by thousands of pounds, because that simply isn't happening. Everything indicates that your pension is safe and the uprating rules haven't changed. So we then come to this other issue. Take a look at this from the same channel.
We need to talk about the pension credit changes and how they are interacting with the over 75's benefit entitlements. Pension credit is a means-tested benefit that tops up the income of the poorest pensioners. In 2026, the government adjusted the thresholds and taper rates used to calculate pension credit entitlement. What this means in practice is that some pensioners who were previously just inside the threshold, qualifying for pension credit and therefore also qualifying for other linked benefits like free TV licenses, help with council tax, and cold weather payments, are now falling just outside the new threshold. They lose pension credit, and with it, they lose a cascade of other entitlements.
Now that statement is almost entirely false. There were no changes in this year, 2026, to the pension credit threshold or the taper rates that match what they're claiming. So let's break it down. They're claiming that this year the government changed the pension credit thresholds and taper rates, pushing pensioners out of entitlement and causing them to lose free TV licenses, council tax help, cold weather payments, and the only thing that has actually happened was that the normal annual uprating, and that's a routine increase that happens every April. And also the taper rate hasn't changed in decades. It's exactly the same as it's always been. Now if you don't know what it is, it's very simple. For every £1 your income is above the pension credit threshold, your pension credit is reduced by £1. There's no complicated formulas, it's just a straightforward £1 for £1 reduction. Now this is completely different from the pension annual allowance taper, which is used for high earners. That has nothing to do with pension credit and does not apply to pensioners. So if currently you qualify for pension credit, you still qualify for the linked benefits. Free TV licence if you're over 75, council tax reduction, warm home discounts depending on your supplier, and cold weather payments. None of these have been removed, none have been tightened, and no one has been pushed out by any new rules. In fact, pension credit threshold for 26-27 has been increased, not reduced. The guarantee credit minimums rose to £238 a week for a single person and £363.25 a week for a couple. This is another example of someone taking a normal annual uprating and turning it into a scary story about pensioners losing everything. It's simply not true. So, why would a channel deliberately mislead and scare pensioners like that? Well, it's definitely an AI creation, and it would appear to be American too. I mean, the American accent of the AI presenter and the script referring to dollars instead of pounds as a dead giveaway. Okay, so let's give them the benefit of the doubt, just for a moment, okay. It could be that the American creators don't understand how a pension system works, and they think they've stumbled on something terrible that they feel they're compelled to tell us about. Or, as I think is more likely, it's a callous video production deliberately designed to scare some of the most vulnerable people in our society, and probably their families too, in order to generate views, likes, shares, and ultimately lots of lovely cash as a result. Now, I've reported this particular video, but looking at the channel, it appears to be almost entirely comprised of similar videos, more than 400 of them. So there's no need to contact me about any other videos on that particular channel, but if you do see a worrying claim like that online, send it to me if you like, and I'll do my best to check it. And for full transparency, I do utilise AI assistance when I have lots of avenues to check, because it can be done in seconds. Rest assured, however, I also fact check the results too. You can't be too careful, can you? We don't do panic on this channel. We do facts and hopefully clarity. So if this has helped to clear things up for you, then please do share so more people can avoid unnecessary worry. And of course, give it a like and a hype. Don't forget that hype button if you're on a mobile. You can hype the video for the first 7 days it's published, and that helps to get it out in front of a lot more people. And if you feel like it, please do subscribe as well. Well, that's it. I hope that's helped. We've debunked one and there's probably loads more to go. Thank you for joining us. Rest easy, and until the next time we see you here in Grey Matters, is bye for now.